I thought it was
Yeah,
about the kid thing because of your books.
I definitely will say something about that, because that's, I mean, once you bring that up, because I didn't know if you was going to bring it up or not. I will say thank you, Aaron, for even, saying, hey, did I have the books for the kids?
Yeah, and I was like, when Aaron said it, I was like, Jen, you own the book. Like, why? Like, I've already bought it. Like, what? I was like, yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Aaron. I am an idiot right now.
Right. So I will say that if you do want them to have it and she can just go over it, the little kids book, depending on her mindset, will fit for her, because those are elementary kids books.
Yeah,
If
she's
not,
10 years old. Yep.
okay. If she's
Yep.
not, I'm just saying it because I know that some schools have the age 10, they're already like somehow in middle school because they extended the weird years for middle school. But anywho, what I'm getting at is, if that seems too childish for her, if you present it to her with the digital form or the physical copy, I do have the middle school and high school one, but it's more straightforward kind of. But it still has a little bit of, a touch of kid-like to it, but not too much,
Right.
because they're grown. But what I will say is, yes, mom is correct in a sense, in a way that if she does the modeling behavior, then naturally a kid should pick up. However, there are different levels. So sometimes it can also work in reverse. The child can be the model to the adult. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there is a way that, stop slapping me, dude.
No, it's like a bug on you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Just helping.
Right. But there is a way that you can actually work with the child one-on-one. The lady that I talked about, we have to switch her last session to virtual. Her son was there on the second day, and he actually wanted to get involved. He was able to do a processing order verbally. And mind you, he's autistic, and she's just like, I struggle with things with him. The fact that he was able to visually look at it, I told her, I was like, the way that my mind works is a little creative, but he was able to process, even though I knew where the toaster was going to go. He's like, hey, can you put the toaster over here? Because if you put it here, I can grab the butter knife, the section that she had on the counter, because it was more easily accessible for him to find and her husband to find, and they all will know where it goes there. So he was like, if you put the toaster here, I can grab the butter knife, I can have my toast, my butter, and my jelly here, and I can throw it away. And you said that I'm now going to be responsible for my 2 dishes, my 2 forks, and my stuff. And when I say mom was in the back, because she was about to interject in a couple of places, she was like, hey, why don't you go do this and a third? And I'm like, you can't just bark orders. Like, there has to be a come down point. Yes, you are mom, but if you want him to be on some kumbaya and you want him to fall in line and you want to take the mental and emotional weight off of you, you have to celebrate the independence, and you have to have the environment to encourage the independence. So one is, your hands is off and you are no longer feeling invisible labor. And I reminded her, I was like, is that not the goal, to take the invisible labor off of you while you're in the kitchen? So one, you can focus on one thing. And if they need to come in, they're not reaching and grabbing over you. And if they want to help, or either you need them to help, you can say, hey, go over there and grab XYZ and bring it here. And then y'all can chop up the stuff there. They can pour it in, like whatever. But she was able to see the process of him doing the whole strategy placement of the items and how he can actually do it. And he actually, once he left out and he came back and he actually made him a peanut butter and jelly. And she was about to say something. She was like, hold on, should I say something? And I looked at her and was like, don't. And he immediately did exactly what we was talking about. He grabbed the rag, put the soap on it, washed his dish, put it in the other sink for it to dry. And he was like, Mommy, I did it. I'm helping you. He's like, I did it. Does this make you feel good? And she just was like, yeah. She actually had to sit down because she just was like, this is what you was talking about that you can do. Yeah. Yeah. So you can actually, like I said, just work in reverse as well, and it'll ricochet to other people in the family. It just depends, because if you think about it, a family is like a puzzle piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses, even with the kids, and we will fit into their puzzle and they will fit into our puzzle piece, even if we don't really think so, but we lack so much and they see so much.
That's, I mean, honestly, Ebony, that's a huge point. Like, I hadn't really thought about the reverse, because normally I'm like, oh, the adults, like, we need to help the adults. But you're right. Like, if we can help the kids, it can help the adults as well on many levels. I think what you said is huge. Of if we can help the kids, it's going to help the parents as well, for sure.
And I will say this, if you looked in the back of the elementary children's book, it has a guide in the back, but it's very intentional for the mom, guardian, whoever to work together while helping their child to be independent and feel safe and secure in every decision that they're making, so they don't revert back of just people pleasing and get confused and just start collecting and keeping everything. Now, when it comes to the middle school and high schooler ebook, it's basically the same way. My thing is for the parents to not just hand their kid the guide, is to have a conversation with them and check in with them to see where they're at mentally and emotionally, because one, they're in that transition stage of self-identity, or they
Yep.
feel like they have themselves on point. But if you come in it and use it where you're talking and getting to understanding and say,
And
hey,
opening that line of communication.
yeah, and be like, hey, so look, how about we try step 1 together or whatever, and then try step 2 by yourself and see how that feels. And then after everything is completely done, there is a weekly situation where the parent or the guardian, whoever, grandma, whoever, can work. Can y'all hear me over this airplane?
Kinda. Yeah, no, you're good. It's just echoing.
Can actually work together with the child to reinforce the mindset of home is community, and it also builds them the skills and team building skills for when they go to work or something. They will understand how to collaborate together and come up with an actual structuralized plan to move forward to get to whatever goal that they need. So it comes with also, like I said, a plan, the guide itself, and just the whole opening the line of communication and just kind of like bouncing it off and saying, hey, where do you need help? You don't have to actually sit and do everything for your child, but 9 times out of 10, what they normally need is just for you to be there. You can be there quiet, or you can be there talking, just like how we do our clients. But with them, it's a different, deeper level of emotional therapy, basically mental therapy in its own little way. But you're indirectly and silently telling the child, I support your individual voice, your individual thoughts, whatever movements you're doing, I support it. You know what I'm saying? But it is a fine line. You create the boundary, like as long as it's safe and you're not over there hiding a bag of Coke in the corner or something. I don't know.
Right.
Let's pause for a second. If you are getting value from this content, then show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. And while you're at it, drop a blue heart emoji in the comments. Also, do not miss out on your training blueprint in the description below. This is the foundational piece that many of my clients take on their journey towards a more peaceful home. So go ahead and get it right now. All right, let's stop playing right here. Let's go ahead and get back to the video.
If you would put the links for the books again in the membership. So make sure to do that, Ebony.
And remember, if you want to live life fearlessly, you must declutter and organize on all aspects.